Hi there, and welcome to the personality testing facility. And how are you today? All ready to go and answer lots of questions to determine your personality type? Fantastic. Well, as you know, there are 4 different personality types that we look for via the use of this questionnaire. There are 4 sections, each comprising of 10 questions. Some that will be immediately obvious to you, others that might be a little more, say, abstract, and you'll have to be guided by that sort of gut feeling, that initial reaction that you have. But please know there's no such thing as a wrong answer for this test, because after all, we're just trying to find out a little more about you. So, once this is done, you'll be put into one of 4 categories: the hollow, the obscured, the witnessed, or the sleepless. And what will happen then is we'll make recommendations based on that. So, if you're ready to get going, we'll start with these questions. Okay. So section 1 is all about your sense of presence. So let's begin by looking at how you exist or don't exist. Question 1. When you speak, how do people usually react? Is it A, they speak over you? B, they pause like they were just interrupted? C, they tilt their head like they're trying to hear you from far away? Or D, they don't react, but they look a little unsettled? So A, B, C, or D. And that's how we'll be answering each question. Yep, so once again, just until you get into the swing of things, how do people react when you speak? A, they speak over you. B, they pause like they were just interrupted. C, they tilt their head like they're trying to hear you from far away. Or D, they don't react but look a little unsettled. Question 2. Which seat do you usually choose in a waiting room? A, the one that's furthest from the door. B, the seat next to the plants. C, the seat away from the others. Or D, the seat that's always cold. Thank you. Next, the first of our pictures. I'd like you to take a good look at this. If you were in this picture of the crowd, where would you be? So A, behind the camera. B, just out of frame. C, somewhere in the middle, but everyone's back is turned. Or D, not there. Take a good look at the picture. A, behind the camera. B, just out of frame. C, in the middle, but with everybody's back turned to you. Or D, you wouldn't be in this photo. Thank you. Remember, no wrong answers. Question 4. Which of these has happened to you more than once? A. People forget your name. B. Someone waves at you and then realises they don't know you. C. A child points at you then hides. Or D. You disappear from photos that you really thought you would be in. If it's all of them, pick the most frequent. Question 5. How would a stranger describe you? A. Quiet. B. Familiar. C. Unsettling. D. Forgettable. Question 6. Which of these do you instinctively avoid? A. Loud parties. B. Locked doors. C. Surveillance. Or D. Sleep. Question 7. Which description feels more like you? A. A shadow with no source. B. A pixelated reflection. C. A window facing another window. Or D. A two-way mirror. That is the first of our more abstract questions. Question 8. Pick the sensation that you notice first. A. Cold air. B. Static hum. C. Flickering light. Or D. That someone else just left. Question 9. If someone called your name behind you, A. You wouldn't turn around. B. You'd freeze. C. You'd already know who it was. Or D. You just wouldn't hear it. And question 10. Where do you go when no one sees you? A. Nowhere. You just stop moving. B. Somewhere between the walls. C. You don't remember. Or D. You return. Thank you. That's the end of the first section, section 1. How do you think you're doing? Starting to see a pattern emerging there? Let's carry on with section 2 and we'll see if a clearer pattern begins to emerge. So section 2 is all about perception and observation. So, are you the eye, or are you the thing that the eye sees? Question 1. I'm going to show you some shapes, and I'd like you to tell me which unsettles you the most. So, let's begin with A. B? It's followed by C. And finally D. So the question was, which unsettles you the most? A, B, C or D? Okay. Question 2. Which card should you turn over? Now, one of these has something wrong on the back. Is it A, B, C or D? Which of these has something wrong on the back? Okay. Tell me what it is that's wrong. Thank you. Question 3. Where would you place a camera? A. Would you hide it in a vent? B. Suspend it from the ceiling. C. Place it at eye level in a static position. Or D. In plain sight. Question 4. Which number repeats most often in your life? A. 0. B. 1. C. 3. Or D. 13. Thank you. Question 5. I'm going to show you some pictures of some doors. Some open, some closed. But which, if you were in front of them, should you not open? So, picture A. Picture B. Picture C. And picture D. So tell me, which of those should you not open? Thank you. Which of these objects would you recognise without knowing why? This is question 6. A. A glass eye. B. A manila envelope. C. A metronome. Tick, tock, tick, tock. Or D, an unmarked VHS tape? Question 7. Which of these watches you back? A, an empty corridor. B, an empty fireplace. C, a blank television screen. Or D, a still lake at night? Question 8. How often do you feel like someone is behind you? A, always. B, when you sleep. C, when you're alone. Or D, never, but you don't check. Question 9. You come across a file all about yourself. What's inside? A, nothing. B, surveillance footage. C, a redacted transcript. Or D, photographs. Next, I'd like to play you some sounds. I want you to tell me which is the most familiar. Sound A. Sound B. Sound C. And sound D. Which was the most familiar? Thank you. That is section 2 complete, halfway there. Next, section 3 explores the way in which you rest. Question 1. What wakes you up? A sound that you just can't place. B, a presence you can't see. C, you don't really wake up. D, you weren't asleep to begin with. Next, I'd like to show you some images. I'd like you to tell me which bed looks most like yours. So, picture A. Picture B. Picture C. And picture D. Which of those pictures most closely resembles your bed? Okay. Question 3. How many of your dreams do you remember? A, none. B, 1, but it repeats. C, a few, but they blend? Or D, all of them? Question 4. What can't you fall asleep without? A sound. B, a light. C, the door open. Or D, knowing that nobody is watching. Next, some more pictures, and I would like you to tell me which of these rooms most resembles your mind. Picture A. Picture B. Picture C. And picture D. Which of those most closely resembles your mind? Question 5. What time is it in your dreams? A, always nighttime. B, always sunset. C, midday. Or D, time doesn't apply. Question 7. Someone wakes you up and says, "It's time." What do you do? A, follow them. B, stay perfectly still. C, ask where you are. Or D, say, "Oh, again." Question 8. How do you usually fall asleep? A, you don't remember. B, you count backwards from a high number. C, you feel your body go cold. Or D, you don't. You just move on. Next, question 9. I'm going to describe some windows, and I would like you to tell me which one best describes you. A window with the night sky outside. B, a window with fogged glass. C, a window with cracked panes. Or D, a window from the outside with you looking in. Question 10. What do you fear will follow you into your dreams? A, something you looked at for too long. B, something that knows your name. C, something silent. Or D, something familiar. That's section 3 done. Almost there. Feeling excited, ready to learn about your personality type? Well, section 4 is the final alignment, where we make sure that we're making the right decision, because the wrong decision would absolutely have repercussions. So the final 10 questions. Question 1. Which word would you be most afraid to hear spoken aloud? A. Yours. B. Theirs. C. Exit. Or D. Again. Next, I'd like you to pick the image which doesn't belong. Take a careful look for me. A, B, C, or D? Which of these doesn't belong? Thank you. Question 3. Which object keeps appearing in your life? A. A black feather. B. A sealed envelope. C. A broken watch. Or D. A single glove. Question 4. Someone knocks at your door at 3:53 a.m. What do you do? A. Open it without checking. B. Pretend to be asleep. C. Take a look through the peephole. Or D. Ask, which one of you is it this time? Question 5. Where are you meant to be? A. Behind. B. Beneath. C. Between. Or D. Not here. Question 6. What's your favourite part of your face? A. Your eyes. B. Your ears. C. Your nose. Or D. Your mouth. Question 7. Which phrase makes you the most tense? A. We've been trying to reach you. B. You've already answered. C. They know what you are. Or D. You'll be asleep soon. Question 8. How do you want this to end? A. With silence. B. With light. C. With a knock. Or D. With the truth. you will receive the truth shortly. Question 9. Something has changed. What is it? A. The questions. B. The lighting. C. You. Or D. Nothing. And question 10. What have you been trying not to think about this whole time? A. Who's behind the camera? B. Happens if you're classified incorrectly. C. Why you know all these answers. Or D. The fact that you're not alone right now. That is the final alignment complete. And we will shortly be in a position to analyse your answers and give you your personality type. I can briefly take you through each of the types to just see if anyone in particular resonates, and we can match that up with the answers that you've given. Is that okay? So the first type, as you know, are the hollow. And empty isn't a judgment, it's just an absence of unnecessary content. The hollow tend to pass unnoticed, leaving no fingerprints. You're the pause in the sentence that no one really remembers hearing. And that would make you a category at risk of breach. But anyway, the next personality type that we test for are the obscured. And it's not that you're unknown, but that you are unknowable. Records of yours tend to go missing, tend to degrade, and you make yourself difficult to hold on to. When the obscured are here, I'm not even sure they took the test. And that would place you under internal observation if you fell under that personality type. The next are the witnessed, and they're still watching. They have always been watching. That sense that there's someone there keeping an eye on you. That's the witnessed. They've been chosen for something, and they already know the answers. I put some under review, but it's not you. And the final type that we look for, and the most common type that I see, are the sleepless. And sleep will let them in. They just don't know that. They're the most comfortable in motion, in transit, always moving around between doors and down halls, things like that. They reside in those liminal spaces. They just haven't caught up yet. And that just marks them as unlikely to enter shutdown. So. But I don't think that you fall into any of those four. There is a fifth designation, but it's not supposed to be here anymore, but it is for people who don't align with designated profiles. they're unresponsive to standard filters and their cognitive patterns exceed no thresholds. When we're unsuccessful at categorization, we classify you as the unclassified, and, well, you're just not meant to get this far. I have to report that. Unless you'd prefer I didn't. Because that's absolutely fine if that's what you want. I would like to double check these results, if you're happy for me to do so, and then you and I can decide where to go from there. Hopefully when we verify, you'll fall into one of these 4 personality types that we all know and love. But if not, you tell me what's next. So, if you'd be so kind as to come with me, let's go and verify.